a rising Filipino star known for her grace and composure, had just been publicly humiliated by her opponent in front of thousands of screaming fans. The mockery was loud, the disrespect was undeniable. But what happened next sent shockwaves across the entire WTA tour, a response so fierce, so unexpected, that even the most seasoned tennis veterans were left speechless. Alex Eala didn't just win the match, she silenced a bully in the most brutal way imaginable, and the internet will never forget it. The tension on the court was suffocating. It was the second set of a high-stakes match at the Cincinnati Open, and Alex Eala was fighting for her life against a ruthless opponent who had no intention of showing mercy. The crowd, packed with passionate Filipino fans waving flags and chanting her name, created an electric atmosphere that could either lift a player to greatness or crush them under pressure. For Eala, this was more than just another match. This was personal. Her opponent, a seasoned WTA player with a reputation for mind games, had been taunting Eala from the very first point. Every winner was met with a sarcastic smirk. Every unforced error was followed by a dismissive shake of the head. The body language was clear she didn't respect the young Filipina. She saw her as a novelty, a feel-good story that had no business being on the same court as a real competitor. The whispers in the locker room had already started. Rumors that Eala was overhyped, that her Miami Open breakthrough was a fluke, that she couldn't handle the big stage. And then, it happened. After Eala hit a shot wide, her opponent let out a loud, mocking laugh and turned to her box, gesturing as if to say, "Is this the best she's got?" The cameras caught every second. The commentators gasped. The Filipino fans in the stands fell silent, their hearts sinking. It was the ultimate sign of disrespect, a public humiliation designed to break Eala's spirit right then and there. But what the opponent didn't know was that she had just woken a sleeping giant. Alex Eala didn't flinch. She didn't cry. She didn't argue with the umpire. Instead, she walked back to the baseline with a calm that was almost terrifying. Her eyes locked onto her opponent with a fire that hadn't been there before. The mockery had backfired. The bully had just given the underdog the one thing she needed most, a reason to fight back with everything she had. What happened in the next few minutes was nothing short of extraordinary. Alex Eala, who had been struggling to find her rhythm, suddenly transformed into an unstoppable force. Her forehand, which had been inconsistent all match, started finding impossible angles. Her serve, which had been targeted by her opponent's aggressive returns, became an unreturnable weapon. It was as if the mockery had unlocked a level of focus and determination that no one had ever seen from her before. The opponent, sensing the shift in momentum, tried to double down on her psychological warfare. She shouted, "Come on!" after every point, even the one she lost. She stared down Eala during changeovers. She even complained to the chair umpire about Eala supporters being too loud, a desperate attempt to disrupt the Filipina's concentration. But nothing worked. Eala was in the zone, and nothing was going to pull her out of it. The Filipino fans, who had been stunned into silence by the earlier mockery, found their voices again. They erupted with every Eala winner, their chants growing louder and more defiant with each passing game. "Alex, Alex, Alex, Alex," echoed through the stadium like a battle cry. The opponent, who had been so confident just minutes earlier, now looked rattled. Her body language shifted from arrogance to anxiety. Her shots, once crisp and precise, started spraying wide. The pressure was suffocating her. And then came the moment that would define the match. At 4-4 in the second set, with the crowd on its feet, Eala unleashed a blistering cross-court forehand that left her opponent completely flat-footed. The ball landed clean on the line, and Eala let out a roar that shook the stadium. It wasn't just a celebration, it was a statement. She turned to her opponent, held her gaze for a brief second, and gave a slight nod. No words were spoken. None were needed. The message was crystal clear: you messed with the wrong person. This was the moment Alex Eala had been building toward her entire career. From the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain to the biggest stages in women's tennis, she had trained for moments like this. She had faced injuries, setbacks, and crushing defeats. She had been counted out, written off, and underestimated more times than she could count. But through it all, she never lost her belief. And now, in front of the entire world, she was proving exactly why she belonged. The second set turned into a masterclass. Eala broke her opponent's serve with a stunning backhand down the line, then held her own serve to love. The scoreboard read 6-4, and the match was level at 1 set apiece. The momentum had completely shifted. The opponent, who had started the match with such arrogance, now looked lost. Her confidence was shattered. Her game plan was in ruins, and Eala was just getting started. The third set was a demolition. Eala raced to a 4-0 lead, her shots finding every corner of the court. Her opponent, desperate to stop the bleeding, started taking reckless risks, going for winners that had no chance of landing in. The errors piled up. The frustration boiled over. At 5-0, with Eala serving for the match, the opponent looked like she wanted to be anywhere else in the world. The mockery from earlier seemed like a distant memory. And then, with a powerful serve that her opponent couldn't handle, sending the ball sailing long, Eala clinched the victory. The crowd erupted. The Filipino flag waved proudly in the stands. And Alex Eala, the 21-year-old sensation from the Philippines, had just delivered one of the most memorable comebacks in recent WTA history. But she wasn't done yet. The best was still to come. As the two players approached the net for the traditional handshake, the tension was palpable. The opponent, still fuming from the loss, barely made eye contact. Her handshake was cold, almost dismissive. A final act of defiance from a player who couldn't accept defeat. But Alex Eala wasn't interested in petty gestures. She had something far more powerful in mind. In her post-match interview, Eala was asked about the opponent's earlier mockery. The cameras zoomed in, waiting for a reaction. Would she lash out? Would she play the victim? Would she stoop to her opponent's level? Instead, Eala delivered a response that left everyone speechless. With a calm smile, she said, "I don't play for the people who doubt me. I play for the people who believe in me. My fellow Filipinos, I see you every week cheering me on. I'm so proud to be Filipino." The words were measured, but the message was devastating. She had taken the high road, but she had also made it clear the mockery meant nothing to her. She was above it. She was focused on something bigger than one opponent's disrespect. The internet exploded. Fans from around the world flooded social media with praise for Eala's class and composure. "That's how you handle a bully," one tweet read. "Grace under pressure. Alex Eala is a role model," said another. Even tennis legends weighed in, applauding the young Filipina for her maturity beyond her years. But the most powerful moment came when a reporter asked Eala what she would say to her opponent if she had the chance. Eala paused, looked directly into the camera and said, "I would tell her that respect is earned, not given. And today I earned it." The response was cold, it was calculated, and it was absolutely perfect. The aftermath of the match was nothing short of a social media frenzy. Clips of the mockery and Eala's response went viral within hours, racking up millions of views across every platform. Fans couldn't believe what they had witnessed, not just a stunning tennis victory, but a masterclass in handling adversity with dignity and fire. "Alex Eala just gave a masterclass in how to respond to disrespect," one fan posted. "She didn't need to scream or shout. She let her racket do the talking, and then she delivered the knockout punch with her words." Another wrote, "This is why we love Alex Eala. She's not just a great tennis player, she's a great person." Class act all the way. The opponent, meanwhile, faced a wave of criticism. Tennis analysts called her behavior unprofessional and embarrassing. Former players questioned why she felt the need to mock a rising star who had done nothing to deserve such treatment. Even the WTA, which rarely comments on on-court behavior, issued a statement reminding players of the importance of sportsmanship and respect. But through it all, Alex Eala remained focused on what mattered most, her game. She had just secured another victory, climbed higher in the WTA rankings, and proved to the world that she was here to stay. The mockery, the disrespect, the mind games, none of it mattered. She had risen above it all and come out stronger on the other side. As she walked off the court, waving to her fans with a smile that said more than words ever could, one thing was clear. Alex Eala wasn't just a tennis player anymore. She was a symbol of resilience, a beacon of hope for every underdog who has ever been counted out. And for the opponent who mocked her, she learned the hard way that you never ever poke a sleeping lion. If you enjoyed this latest tennis update and want to stay ahead of the biggest stories in the world, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe the channel right now. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of the action. See you in the next video.